Here we are, Ice Age 3, even though it's a third movie, we never treat it as a treacle or something that's, oh, we've done two before. No, we always treat it as a brand new experience.
It needs to feel like it belongs with the other two movies, but it has to go to a new place.
They're dealing with all these new kinds of species, and there's some dinosaurs in this one, for crying out loud.
You're in these different worlds now. You're falling into this other whole period in prehistoric times.
One of the most challenging parts was designing dinosaurs we haven't really seen before.
So that's kind of challenging to come up with how this muscle would move or how this mouth shape would function. There's always a challenge.
When they do the Ice Age animation, it's awesome technology.
As we progressed through the series, it just felt like a big, funny idea to see what would happen if our guys encountered some dinosaurs. So we came up with this idea that there was this underground world where the dinosaurs managed to coexist, and it was just an opportunity for us to have fun.
We had a whole new world to invent, and although the style generally of that world needed to stay consistent with the Ice Age style, it also had to have its own kind of internal language.
There's a different environment, you know, it's no longer, you know, ice, glaciers, and rock. We had to explore what people interpreted vegetation to look like in Jurassic times, and then we would have to do sort of an Ice Age spin on top of that.
The trouble with setting a movie in a huge cave underground is where's all the light coming from? But I think the design guys came up with a really cool concept, which is the layer of the ice above this world kind of acts like a ceiling of light.
Mm-hmm. The world, rather than being foreboding or dark or cold, actually ends up being very welcoming and kind of grand in the lighting.
They managed to come up with a whole new world and a whole new place to take it. They got some big, huge dinosaurs and things falling apart and falling around, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
When we were starting to play with the story and trying to think about dinosaurs, we had so many drawings and so many designs that we had to see, okay, now we have to pick and choose and see which ones would fit the story. So we had the same designer, Peter DeSav, who did the characters for the Ice Age. He did the design for the dinosaurs.
That is one of the great things about having a single designer like Peter. There is a unique stamp that's placed on all the characters, and that helps tie them together. They feel like they're from the same world.
As the character designer, I am given a basic description of who it is that will be in the film, who the characters are. At that point, nobody knows what they look like yet, and it's my job to make suggestions.
Peter is incredibly versatile, and every drawing he makes is comedic. And every character he draws, you get a very strong attitude.
I knew pretty early on that the trick was going to be reinventing them for our world and designing them in both a frightening and appealing way that would let the audience accept that they're part of the Ice Age world.
I think he struck a really nice balance of making them look like real dinosaurs, something we recognize, but gave them enough character that they could perform.
Oh. They'll draw it after you record it, and then you'll see it in its rough drawings, you know, but then you see the finished product with the detail. It's kind of mind-blowing to see it, you know?
One of the most challenging characters was Mama T-Rex, because they've been done so many times in so many different films. So coming up with a new version of that kind of dinosaur was a challenge, but I think we got something really, really nice out of her.
We wanted to be that signature dinosaur, but we wanted to be the Ice Age T-Rex. So we make a dinosaur with an edge, but also with a heart, because she's a mom.
It was amazing, man. I loved it. T-Rex is coming at you and being chased at, claws, giant teeth.
One of the biggest challenges was in the face, to get that sort of T-Rex grimace to work. We went through many passes on that to get that to be exactly what Carlos wanted and the character designer. They're not exactly the proportions of what a real dinosaur might be. They're in close proximity. To make her look a little more female, she probably has wider hips and rounder shapes.
We took some liberties in the size. T-Rex mom is probably twice as big as she existed in reality. The idea was that, you know, Manny in the previous movies was always thought of as the biggest character on the planet, you know. And part of the fun of this movie was that the biggest creature, woolly mammoth, was going to be encountering things which were much larger than he was.
Ah!
We had to create this other guy, Rudy, who was supposed to be even bigger and meaner and nastier. So we kind of looked through the books and found one that seemed like it might fit the bill, and that's where we decided to use the baryonyx.
Rudy is like an albino or sort of like white dinosaur. I don't know if those really existed, but it sort of served the story and made it a little creepier, a little scarier.
This was the one character that I knew was a very extreme character, and unlike Mama, there wasn't going to be a softer side. Run! He's just mean and evil, and while drawing him, I thought, this is the one character in the film that doesn't even have a soul.
What makes him different from T-Rex Mom, and to make him more crocodilian, you'll see his teeth are connected to his actual jaw, whereas on T-Rex Mom, she has more lips to show more expression. Make it something the audience can attach with.
Scale-wise, they're off a little bit, but for our purpose of our movie, he's bigger than she is. A little creative liberty there.
One of the most unique and unusual dinosaurs we have in this movie is called the Guanlong. They've got this nasty spike, and they've got quills coming out of the back of their neck, and they've got this great iridescent pinstriping on their back. I think they're pretty unique looking.
They're actually very frightening to look at. And, you know, we're still making a kids movie, so we can't scare, you know, 6-year-olds to death. So it was actually, you know, a little bit tricky to animate and light and texture these guys and then put the sound effects on. So in the action sequences with the Guanlongs, we put like a little funnier sounds underneath there so that they don't become just overwhelmingly scary for little kids.
Hey, where you going? This is how you resolve conflict? No wonder you're single.
We'd made the conscious decision not to have the dinosaurs speak a language.
Oh, come now. Am I talking to myself?
It just allowed us to have, I think, more fun with the communication or lack of communication between the characters.
I don't call that communication. See? That's your answer to everything.
And one thing, you know, might not be obvious to everybody is that Carlos Saldana, the director of the movie, voiced the Dino Babies. Not all the time. I mean, some of those things are sort of more animalistic sounds, but there's a little bit of a voice in there that's Carlos.
The biggest difference people will feel in Ice Age 3 is scope. This movie is it's huge. Well, the dinosaurs are way above anything we've done before.
They just develop into these amazing animated sequences. And it's kind of fun because it takes the animated experience to a whole nother level.
They'll never survive. These films are a giant collaboration. I think the best animation direction comes from people that understand that everyone around them is there because they're talented.
And we have this passion for it that I think it just really comes through on the screen. And we take it full force and we try to just really embrace it and make the best we can make.